Hello. Hey, welcome to 1 Million Cups, Wednesday's edition at Fatpipe ABQ. So go grab a cup of coffee, have a seat, find a seat, stand up, and then we're about to get ready to enjoy some entrepreneurs here. We are one of 80 cities, 83 cities. I think we're 86, maybe 87, 88 maybe next week. And we are one of the top attended 1 Million Cups on a weekly basis. So thank you for everybody that comes on a weekly basis. The first time guests, do we have any first time guests? Bruce, all right. 37 weeks in a row. Speaking of awards, we're gonna get you an award from the recognition place. We have the recognition place is going to present. They have a unique story to tell about how they purchased the business and sort of made it their own. So we'll have, as I fall back and do a YouTube fail. Yeah, we have Jason and Thomas to come up and talk about the recognition place.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Nick, and everyone else here at Fatpipe and 1 Million Cups for having us. Greatly appreciate being here, having this opportunity. Very humbled to have this chance to talk to you guys and hopefully get some perspective and insight into how to build our company going forward. Go back. There we go. So this is us. And apologize that we kind of threw this together last minute. Nick called yesterday and said he needed somebody this morning, so I had been dodging him for a few months, I guess now. So happy to make it out here. This is my first time, and Thomas's as well. Quickly about us, I'm Jason. This is Thomas. We've been in business at the Recognition Place since March of 2012, so we're at about 4.5 years right now. Prior to that, I'm from Albuquerque. We're both from Albuquerque, so who else here is from Albuquerque or New Mexico? Yeah, about half the room or so. And yeah, so growing up here, I love the city, but the whole idea was like get out. All my friends would talk about, gotta get out of Albuquerque. It's a trap, land of entrapment, everyone knows that. But as I got older, I got married, I had 2 daughters, and I got stuck here essentially. But during that time, I found a love for this city. I found a love for this community. I found a love for what we do. I found a love for entrepreneurship. And I think together we've starting to do something pretty cool in every aspect. So brief history of the Recognition Place. We are on San Mateo in between Candelaria and Comanche. Many of you has anyone been there by chance in this room? Okay. Well, so we focus on awards, and engraving is our main focus. Let's see, sorry. We bought in March of 2012, and prior to that, I had been going to school at UNM for my education degree, and I was working at Recognition Plus at the time, which was an established company. The owner's name was Gene, and he had it for 20 plus years, and so I worked on engraving and getting the odds and ends of the awards industry and ordering things and hand engraving stuff and personalizing things. So I graduated in 2009. And I taught for 1 year at Valley High School, and then all the budget cuts hit, and there were no jobs, and they let me go, and all the senior teachers got positions. So I went crawling back to Recognition Plus and asked for a job, and I became the face of the store on San Mateo as the owner was ready to get out. And within a short time, Thomas and I talked to him about buying it. And Thomas has experience in some machining, which he did with his father for a number of years. So he's really great with his hands. He's intellectually smart and can see things faster than I can, faster than most people I know can. So it's a really good dynamic that we have. So in March 2012, we officially took over, and it's been a great ride since. Go to the next slide. So this is kind of where we're at. We've had 4 straight years of growth. This is pretty accurate, I guess, bar table of what we've done. 2012 we just had from March through December, so that was shorter, but we've essentially grown for 4 straight years, and we're at a point now where 2016 trying to figure out where it's going to be. We know it's going to be somewhere right around here. Yeah, so we're at about 10 to 15% growth every year, roughly. And we're at a point now where we're starting to turn away sort of business. So that's one of the things we're going to get in later is help of our next step growing there. I mentioned that we bought the existing business. Well, about 90% at least is new current customers that we've brought on ourselves. So the old owner had upset so many people that we had to kind of rebrand and give it a new image. And it was, a big risk because many people were pissed off and leaving left and right. So we took it on, but we've immediately grown. We've gone out in the community. I am a member of Active 2030. I'm now currently a board member. Going to be joining the March of Dimes board here soon. A couple other things. Just really love this community, like I said earlier, finding our little niche. We have something that most people need. I was looking around the room here. There's one of our awards over there for Dara that she got from Entrepreneurs. And then there's 2 awards over there that we made for Innovate Albuquerque from Albuquerque Business First when they had an event right here at Civic Plaza a few months ago. So everywhere I go, I've been to Explora, I've been, you name it, and I see our awards around. And as the years have now piled on, we see more and more awards, and we've seen people love to get awards. They love to get recognized. They love to be seen. They love all of that. And we're finding our niche with that, and we're trying to grow from there. So we've had 2 employees prior, part-time. We got one up to full-time and then had some issues with him. So we had to let him go. And we've recently hired 2 part-time employees. One of them is going to be starting at UNM here next week, so her hours are going to be back. And then we have another employee. So we're at that point now where we're hiring employees to take off some of the stress from us, and so that we can get out, do more, get more business, be seen more, help out, do all of that. So that's another one of the things we're going to ask for some help for is kind of the strategies for hiring new employees. Delegation, because we're horrible at that. As most of you probably know, no one does it better than yourself. So this is our baby, and every day we walk in and I feel like the floor could just fall out from us and lose everything, and all our investments, all our time, all our past 4.5 years, everything could be gone. We had a small fire in our first year. We've had a flood. We've had, you name it, has come to us. We had a roof issue for 6 months where water was just leaking in on us randomly. So all the issues that come with a small business, low budget, all of that.
All right, we work with umbrellas.
Yeah, we work with umbrellas. So, but it's been fun, and it's exciting that we're still growing despite all of these obstacles, despite any hardships. It's a lot of fun. We have a really good online presence. One of the things we focused on initially was using Google, because Google's free, and everyone uses Google. So we got our ranking up on Google. We have the most reviews on Google. We've gotten our Facebook. We use Twitter. We have a guy that runs all that. He's kind of a friend that has helped us. So our online presence is fantastic. We have countless people that come to us and say, I saw your reviews on Google, and that's why we're here. I didn't even look anywhere else. And so that's been real cool. And, that goes along with that, though. We have to put out good product. We have to make people like what we do and spread our name and go online to actually type a review. I think we're at 20 reviews right now, which pretty good, I think, for Google, and so that's great. And as I mentioned before, I'm 30, Thomas is 31. We're young entrepreneurs. I don't see myself doing this ever. I don't think Thomas did either. We did some odd-end jobs. We worked at Hinkle together. Actually, that's where we met back in high school. We worked at Hinkle for a few years together, and he was my manager there, and I never listened to him, so I still don't. He's like my babysitter, but most days he keeps me grounded. So in any case, is there anything you'd like to add?
I think that's pretty much covered it. Strong like bull.
All right, so go ahead and go to the next one. So the problem, as I've put it in quotes, is how do we best manage our employees as we grow? Like I said before, it's really hard to trust people that aren't us because they don't have the monetary investment, they don't have the time invested, they don't have all of this stuff. And when I see something, it takes time to do something, and time is money, obviously. And the way we're growing, we're cranking out stuff, and we can't mess up, we have to stay on task, we have to do all this, and it's really difficult because we can't quite afford what we want yet. We're really close, I think. Someone to manage, someone that has experience, stuff like that. So I guess that is my first question out to you guys, is if any of you have any experience in a situation or know of anything with people that are at that point to where they can really take the next step, but with employees, as far as employees go, we don't really know how to delegate very well.
Do you have policies and procedures already written out?
Yeah, for the most part, we have rules of conduct and things like that, and
No,
how we do things. Not specifically. There's just too many variables that come with the engraving process that. No? Well, I guess that's what is in our heads, that we see so many different ways you could do a job that if you write down procedural step-by-step based on a lot of things. I have been working on, a manual, so to speak, of using one of our machines for engraving, but as of right now, we don't really have anything, step-by-step. We do things differently, so it's hard for us to come together and really focus on one way to do something that we can agree on.
right, because if you have that in place, you then have something to train new employees with, and it's easier to delegate because your training involves them having the ability to look questions up as well as interact with you.
Right.
And then the artistry of your craft comes into it once there's that baseline of how.
Right. And I've actually gone to one of our employees and I've kind of been asking her as she's doing it what questions she has, because I just kind of taught myself, we kind of just feed off each other. So having another point of view, another perspective really gives us that ability to know what questions to answer. So.
If you base that on the end result rather than the steps, you always know you want a quality product at the end.
Right.
So start that process that
Right.
ends with I have qual. So start back.
Start backwards, gotcha. Yes.
Have you considered profit sharing?
Not so very much. No. Not yet, not till there's much profit to share, yes, exactly.
So I own a small software company. One thing that I like to do when I'm considering bringing someone on is I give them a series of 3 or 4 small projects, as a contractor. And I pay them, they're getting paid, and I'm getting useful code. And
Yep.
it's a way that I can evaluate the person, their work, without all of the legal requirements of a W-2 employee. I don't know if you guys have considered any kind of project-based contracts that you can evaluate people on. Because a lot of that stuff, you figure that out in 3 or 4 projects.
Yeah, we have considered contracting. I think it's just figuring out what we want, and like Thomas was saying, as far as having a procedure, unfortunately we get an unlimited different things, and sometimes procedure for one thing is different than another thing. So trying to get that nailed down to a specific science is where we have an issue. So output.
I have these job packages, so I have the requirements, and I write it up,
Okay.
and I say, here's how you're going to get paid, here's how I'm going to evaluate you. And it doesn't matter if it's a website for an e-commerce thing, or a desktop application, or a mobile app. It's the same process.
Okay.
I'm focused on the outputs, pay them a certain amount, and evaluate their code, and evaluate them as a person, and then we'll move forward with one. So if you can figure out, it's like that other comment said, what's common? What are the things that don't change? Then you can create these documents and these processes, just these steps that you can take that will help you evaluate the person and evaluate yourself.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much for that.
So Fatpipe ABQ is holding a 3-part HR series workshop, and it starts on August 25th. And I would recommend you guys come to all 3, because they're going to go over the laws of having employees, how to hire right the first time, how to give good evaluations, and it sounds like you guys could really use some of those. And
Yes.
they're free and they're open to the community, so check our website or that page and register. Make sure you come.
Okay, great. We'll do that. Thank you very much.
So, it seems that more than the policies and procedures, you also need to somehow teach them craft in art and in doing and working. Have you considered having short videos and shoot different techniques so you can refer your new employees, maybe more than one, which the training is really hard to, I have this video on how to do this and how to do that, and instead of you having to do, for example, something, take a look.
Okay.
Have a library of that.
Yeah, that's great. One of the things we did, I didn't mention, is we have them shadow us too, is one of the big things for the first little bit, just shadow to see. And the problem though, and I think that would probably help that though, it's having some videos, some tutorials, something to step by step. That would be great. Absolutely. Any?
Do you have some
just had a thought about your business is very, very creative. Just looking at your website, the different. I'm fortunate enough to have one of those glass Delegate New Mexico awards, which I love. It's a real attention getter in my office. But have you considered like an apprenticeship type arrangement? And particularly
Yes.
recruiting perhaps from the arts community.
Yeah, we had given some thought to UNM, some of the students there, whether it was in their business school or what, but something to come. But with an art focus, that's probably a really good idea.
Definitely, we've thought about hiring, high school students, getting them some experience. People want to see experience when you get it, but you also have your schooling, so it's trying to balance that. We thought about school of management to try to get someone in there to, just watch the flow of things, get someone from art, but we've thought about many different places to pull from, internships or something like that to really get, more perspective, yes.
You can actually, there's internships through I was an art minor at UNM, so you can get an internship so they can get class credit for working for you guys.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what we're thinking, credits on top of, that, so, okay.
So what do you think, is your the duty for the individual engraving? The actual engraving, or do you do sales?
It's a whole encompassing thing, from point of sale, working with the customer, knowing what questions to ask and exactly how to do things, taking it back into the back, actually doing the engraving, it's a whole process. So right now we're starting them on just the basics, how to, cut different types of metal and plastic, and how to do, put plates together and plaques and things, eventually stepping them up to engraving it themselves, and then stepping up more to, now you know how to do it, now you'll kind of know more what questions to ask when people come in with their grandmothers, this, and you know how to hold it and what font and stuff. So there's a lot that it takes to learn before you can get to that point of being point of sale, being a salesperson.
Yeah, and to expand on that, that's kind of what we're talking with this about is because Thomas and I want to be out more and be able to get more business, and that leads to the second one of expanding in our industry and what we do, because we want to make sure when we leave the store, like right now we're closed, we're supposed to be open at 9, and we just put up a sign to be late, and I dragged Thomas here this morning, but it's tough, like being closed for an hour is like, who are we going to miss? Because we've upset people before by missing stuff. So it's basically just being comfortable to where, because I can, sell, I never thought I could be a salesman, but it's pretty natural, I guess. So, and Thomas can keep the things flowing, he's doing that. So yeah, we really want someone that we can trust, and I think giving them procedures, giving them all that is great. So, anything else? Suggestions? Yes?
The engraving done spot on, so a customer comes in, they want something done, you do it right then, and then you turn around and it's right back to them?
We have the ability to do that. It's kind of difficult because we have a lot of interruptions during the day. That's the other thing with the phones ringing, customers answering emails, whatever. We have interruptions, so we try not to do it immediately unless we charge a rush fee. But we have a flow for the day, kind of where we.
Have you considered segmenting your two part-time people and getting one primarily back of the house and one front of the house, so that you can then focus one on business development and one on doing engraving? Just that way you get, then maybe after a while you can switch them, but at least.
Yeah, no, that's something we've looked at. The problem is because there's a lot of questions that the person that takes the order might only know, because we have an order form and we answer most of them.
Yeah, you need to have your order form answer more of those questions.
Okay. That's pretty basic, yeah. So we're trying, this has been a stumbling process throughout the years, but this is great help being here today. So I think procedure is definitely what we're going to focus on. So expanding, I think lately we've had the opportunity of possibly looking at some of our competition. And like I said, we do engraving and awards and stuff, but getting into anything else from promotional to other parts of the industry is something that people have come to us asking if we can do, and we've been saying no so frequently that I think we really want to take the next step, because our growth, as you saw before, has continued. And if we can find people that takes away the responsibility that we have being in the store, then we can really take that next step. So, do you want to do anything more on this?
Basically, we have been approached in the past few years from some competitors, 2 of which have now closed, asking us to buy them out. So that's kind of one of those things, well, should we continue what we're doing and let them just kind of fall by the wayside, or should we make the investment, time, money, to purchase them and go expand into their facility and maybe hire their staff. And so those are some of the questions we have. What do you think is better for us to do as far as our time? Yes.
So that specifically, I think, going back to the procedures and segmenting your staff, I think what you have to do is you have to look at that other business and you have to assess what its slots are within the market, and what yours are within the market,
Right.
and then see where those two. As you're doing that, in most cases, it's going to be better to let them fall by the wayside, given where you're at. If procedures aren't solid and your infrastructure isn't solid,
Yeah.
acquiring a business may lead to your own way.
Right, which is exactly why we let them go that first time. So yes.
So I'm getting the impression most of your business is local walk-in. Do you do any online sales at all?
Online sales, not so much. We are online, like he said, but that's more just kind of trying to get people to come into us. But yeah, a lot of walk-ins, a lot of repeat business. Movie industry is huge for us too. Sandia Labs and Air Force. So that kind of stuff is really what keeps us going as our baseline. And I think what we're trying to do is get our baseline to be just a bit higher and just kind of step it up. And
Seems like the only way to really grow is to go online and draw from a much larger market.
from outside of the state and that kind of stuff, yeah. So, I mean, we have done things for Florida, Texas, and a few other places, but not a continual, we're not really reaching that right yet, so, yes.
I actually would disagree with Paul on that. I think there's many other opportunities for you to grow locally and get more business from existing clients, but having the procedures in place to upsell to the next
Right,
client
right.
and expand into more than just awards, but maybe employee recognition.
Right.
Those kinds of things that would be ongoing year after year type.
And one of the things we looked at doing was getting like a, A, B, and C package type thing. You know, if we're going and we're talking to a board of directors or something and you need to do this, you need to do this, we need to have a really set thing. And right now we go in more, what are your needs? Rather than here's what we have to offer you, take it or leave it. So we try to be a little too ebb and flow, and I think that's kind of what's given us that, unsolid foundation. So. Anything else?
Yeah, question for you. So, in your industry, is there a gap that nobody's able to fill that using technology you can? For example, is there an opportunity for more real-time awarding and recognition, where you can use a small technology that in real time, while something's going on, something can already be being created on the back end and then delivered? Sounds complex, but it could actually be quite easy if there's a gap like that. Are there gaps in your industry that you can fill with technology?
Right, and we were approached a few years ago by a 3D printing company, and they wanted us to start using 3D printing to really make, these cool awards. You can make a shoe, you can make whatever. It wasn't very practical at the time when he'd come to us. The product didn't look as good as we'd like it to, and it would take 8 hours to make one award, and that's not going to happen. So that would have been a gap to fill. I would say another gap that we actually do fill are just our versatility of our machines. We have older machines, and so they're really nothing like that now. You know, the new machines are like 6 inches, and ours is 12. So that's one of those things that we kind of already fill, but we're trying to maintain that and look ahead and try to be progressive with it and try to think about what's coming next, what's going to be the new thing, and stay in that. So yes.
Just to add to that, Nambe is one of the biggest things that we take on. It's a huge seller here. It used to be made here, but now it's made overseas, which is ridiculous. But in any case, we engrave that left and right. We have those blue boxes in our store all the time, and we take on things that no one else will touch. And we take chances on things. I've had an heirloom, a little goblet from the 1800s that I had to engrave, and it had like 6 names on it, and so I was shaking as I was engraving that. But yeah, so some stuff's just not replaceable. So we embrace that, though. We have people that send us from other engravers too, because they know we'll take it on that they won't touch. So we try to have the bigger, best machines and all that. Yes.
Do you get testimonials about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, our Google reviews is our main thing. We try to do that. We incentivize people on Facebook. We have reviews on there to do that. So that's the biggest thing. When people just search, they can see those immediately. Going back, sorry.
Have you ever thought about outsourcing the engraving piece of this and then just concentrate on the sales and operations? And then you just have the location as a walk-in, drop-off, just be one part-time person then, and then you're outside?
Outsourcing the engraving, not so much. There are companies that do it. One of our vendors actually does engraving. If you send them the file, they will do it. I think we're a little bit too much of a control freak type to we just want to do it ourselves. But It,
done a lot of things where I just want to take part in every project that I'm into, and then you burn out.
yeah, and that's, I don't think we're quite at the point where we're burning out. We're just, because we feed off each other. If he has a bad day, I take it, and then vice versa. Delegating is one of the hard things. I'll tell somebody to do something. I'll tell my employee, go ahead and do this, and I'll just hover and watch. And I'm like, no, like this. And it's just, it's a little too hard. I don't want to send it to someone. It comes to me wrong. Then I am up against the wall to, fast order it and engrave it. We did think about opening a satellite location, just a showroom. Walk in, see what we do, place an order, send it over to the production facility. So that's about as close as we got to outsourcing it, I would say. So, yes.
I see part of your niche is your flexibility.
Yes.
So when you were talking about A, B, and C, take it or leave it.
Yeah.
And on the other side, doing what the customer needs. I think you can do both.
Right.
But if you came to me and said, I'd take A, B, or C and leave it, and I needed something else, I'd leave it.
You go,
and
exactly.
elsewhere.
Right, and that's just, I just don't want to be that kind of pitchy. I've never been a salesperson. This is the first time being in front of more than 5 people. But I just really think that that's kind of, for me, kind of a high pressure situation when you have to just really quickly think, yeah, we could do that. And you go back, look at the numbers, they weren't right, and you undercut yourself. And I think that's our fear. And maybe it sounds more like an excuse, but that's really what where our thought process is. We've sat down and tried to offer, this amount of plaques and this and this. Well, I only have 7 employees. I don't need the 12. Okay, well, we could cut this and do this. Well, so that's where we're at right now. So brainstorming, I guess, after 4.5 years. Yeah.
And just to follow up, one thought is in how you package in order to sell more volume per sale, which is always a benefit, right? If you can get 25 to 30 items per sale.
Sure.
Is there a way for you to prefab 90% of the work, and then Sandy Labs, Los Alamos, whatever, they buy 100, 200 of them, and then they're customized on site, but they look like they were never customized on site?
Yeah, kind of. We do have the blank stock, and that's one thing he and I are working on, is getting just a huge stock of things that when they order it, we just pull it off the shelf, and then we do the engraving and stuff there, and that's basically how it's done. But as far as having anything ready to go, if it's a repeat order, yes, because all we have to do is change the name and the year or whatever if they change the verbiage, but the layout stays the same. We're familiar with how it sits in the machine, so that's pretty much how it goes, but yeah.
Yeah, and one other thing, too, back to the procedures, is I was never taught when I was working there before. There was never a procedure. He just threw me into the ring and said, good luck, have fun. So as far as me developing and us developing a procedure, it's been tricky. Shoot, what was my train of thought was? As far as having like a stock of something, we have looked at that. We like certain trophies, which we don't try to do trophies anymore, but we try to have a baseline for that. It gets tricky having it all, and we've developed a catalog now. It's what we're working on now as far as having a procedure, because right now I have a bookshelf that has probably 12 plus vendors on it. So when a customer comes in, there's 12 different books that I could look through to find this item. So we're now reducing it, and we're going to be creating a catalog here soon, and then we're going to be stocking just what's in that catalog. So we take from all of those vendors and we just make it a lot easier on us, and then we can start stocking stuff and having it pre-made, and easing that, I think, is kind of our goal too.
And that we did in kind of answer to the employee question. This is too much for someone else to come in and just pick up and know. So if we have a catalog that's very basic and easy, and it still has very nice things in it, it's pretty versatile, but it's not so much for them to have to go and look. And I don't know where that item is. I don't know which catalog that's from. It's in one catalog. It's online. It's here. Everything is in the showroom that we have in the catalog, so that's really what we're wanting to do. We're going to stay versatile. If someone comes and wants this specific thing, we're going to know where it is type thing, and eventually after years of having this, hopefully same employee there, they will know getting it. But 6 months, even a year, after 4.5 years, I'm still like, hey man, do you know where this piece is? Because he's been doing this for 8 years. I don't know where this piece is, and he flips right to it. So that's the point we need to get whoever we're bringing in to be at, and that's why we're making the catalog, not to really limit what we offer, but just to limit what they, I guess, what they need to look through. So.
You thought about the distribution stream, maybe becoming a distributor or warehouse or?
Right. Yeah. The question was whether or not we want to be distributors, like a warehouse, and we've thought about that as well. I really can't even tell you what it would take to get into that. But in fact, it's interesting you mentioned that, because if you look at a map of all of our vendors, and in Map United States, the Rockies all the way down, there's nothing within a 200, 300-mile radius of all these. And the closest place is Dallas and LA and one in Phoenix. And so, it's just, there's nobody here in this state or, one in Colorado. But that would be a really good thing to get into, so yes.
Going back to the sales issue,
Yes.
so that you can make the bread and butter and easily to attain sales, have somebody that manages that, and then understand at what point you guys get engaged, because that's going to give you, goes back to the delegations, to give you more time and overhead to deal with more complex problems where there may be more problems.
Yeah, that's good.
Great advice, thank you.
Yeah.
I almost wonder if you guys can use the catalogs as the guideline tool for your employees
Mm-hmm.
who are coming in.
Yeah.
And then you can test them and say, you know, this is the dates that we are working with, this is the type of trophies or
That's
plaques.
exact.
That's the point of it. Yeah, exactly.
So utilize what you already have to the advantage of your employees might do you guys good.
Thank you. Yeah. Wait, and then do you want to go into new ideas?
Just an observation.
Yeah.
That, on your website, you don't have the reviews and other things that you do have, testimonials that you may have on Facebook. I didn't look at Facebook, but
I know there used to be a link. We have a guy that works on it, and yeah, I know at one point we did, but yeah, I think we'll make sure we do that. Yeah.
If you were looking at a website.
I would
Page
prefer
one.
to see it on the website, because if I Googled you, I would go to your website, I wouldn't go to Facebook to look for your business. That's me personally, but I'm old school, so.
And if it's on your website, you get to pick which testimonials
true.
you post.
Well, we only have one negative. We
It's
have
like Yelp
so
or
it's-
something, somebody has a bad day and you look bad.
we have one star. The rest are 5. The one star was somebody that called that asked some weird questions to Thomas, and I guess we weren't informative enough, or he wasn't informative enough, so the guy left us 1 star without even coming in. Ridiculous. But everything else we have 5 stars, so we're quite pleasant with that, and so we can take from that and put on. That's a great idea. Other questions? Yes. Yes.
Red or green?
Christmas.
What can we, as a community, do for you today that would help you out today?
Spread our name. See what we have. Come by.
What is your contact info?
Oh, you want to go back?
Anything on this slide? Do all your
So there's our website. It has links to our Facebook, Twitter, everything on our website. It should be on there. There's our phone number. We're on San Mateo, like I said, 3320 San Mateo. So yeah, that's the best thing I could say. That's how we've gotten this to where we are, is word of mouth and putting out a good product, doing good engraving, being reliable, being on time, being consistent, taking pride in what we do. That's, I think, where we're at.
One major problem that we have with 50% of our customers who come in who've not been in before, where are you guys? It's hard to see us. I mean, we're right on the street, we're right on the edge there, but it's a generic building with a generic everything. And so we're talking to the owner of the building, like, can we put this up? Can we put up a new sign? Can we do balloons? And she's in California, she doesn't really care, but does anybody have some sort of, big T-Rex on the top of the building or anything like that kind of ideas to wow people to be like, look for this?
Giant trophy cup.
And we thought about doing that. There's this huge Oscar, it's like 6 feet tall, and it's the gold guy, and he's standing there, very recognizable. Weighs more than I think the roof would be able to support, but something like that would be. That too. Well, it's not quite the Oscar. It's like a guy hugging himself more than, thank you for this award. Yeah.
I started a motorcycle shop a decade ago. It had the same problem where no one knew where I was, so I painted 10-foot flames all the way around my building.
Right.
Everyone knows where that shop's at.
Yeah. I think she would probably have an aneurysm if we did that. I know, right? Yeah, the recognition place where I don't know, can't recognize it. Thought I saw someone else. All right. So yeah, that's our main problem. But did you want to talk about new ideas? Yeah, we kind of actually covered with the expander industry. We've already done the new ideas, and we've gotten a lot of great points. But does anybody else have anything else knock us down? Okay.
Personally, yes, honestly, that's just, you're in the
Well, the monogram, the idea of the monogram, we engrave a lot of monograms.
Okay.
So it's monogram.
Okay, I didn't get that, so
Yeah, that's just kind of part of the logo. And it's actually kind of wrong. So our monogram is TRP, the recognition place. With a traditional monogram, it would be TPR, I think. So anyway, yeah.
But yeah, we looked into like an Oscar sort of style logo and a cup and stuff. We just kind of fell back and settled on this. So, but we're up for.
Probably going to be rebranding soon. All right.
Thank you.
Well, yeah, thank you guys very much for coming.
All right, we don't have a second presenter today, but we do have Charles White with some announcements.
We do have a second presenter. We do. Lisa from Fatpipe actually is going to be doing this here in just a little bit, but I do want to let you guys know of some other things that are happening this week. Of course, today is Entrepreneur Wednesdays, which means that over at the new Epicenter, which does everybody know where the new Epicenter is at? No. Oh my goodness. Okay, so 2nd and Gold, correct? Perfect. And there's a parking lot that's right across the street. Ample parking for you guys to go check that out. That's a great time to be able to find some resources, some people that really know some great information. I personally have got some great benefits from just going and talking with some people there, and just some great expertise that you could really find. And that is from 3 to 5 today, again, on 2nd and Gold over at the new Epicenter. And Nicole, would you go ahead and raise your hand? If you need any more information, talk to this wonderful woman right here. She knows everything that's going on with that. Today, let's see, later on that we have going on this month, so actually next month, we have a entrepreneur happy hour. So this is a chance for people that maybe can't necessarily be here, so definitely tell all your friends that can't make it to a morning meeting or be able to connect, that we have a happy hour, that we do this over at the Tractor in Wells Park. That's the Tractor off of 4th Street. And this next time is going to be fail night, so we're going to bring in a few different entrepreneurs that get to talk about their failures as entrepreneurs and the lessons that they learned from that, because everybody knows that you have to fail first to be able to really learn the best lessons. We have, what is this? Let's see, so Saturday, August 20th, at the South Economic Development Center. Does everybody know where SVEDC is at? Yes, fantastic. So there's going to be silent auction, food trucks, there's going to be tours of the center, there's going to be some local vendors there for you guys. It's actually their first annual summer fest that they're doing. So another great way to be able to connect to people on the other side of the river as well, since I know that I also don't get a chance to go over there as often as I'd like to, and really bridge the gap in between the two different parts of our city. Another event that's coming up right now is that we actually have ABQ ID Demo Day. Okay, so that is actually happening the 26th, which is a Friday. So not this coming Friday, but the following Friday. And they're going to do it at the Emerald Building, if you guys need to go ahead and look that up. And any of these announcements that I'm making right now, if you guys want to come and talk to us later about where to find and sign up for some of these events. But again, ABQID, if you guys haven't heard of what this is that it's an accelerator program that we have that's right across the building over here, over at the Verge Building. They're currently moving as well. But it's a great opportunity for local entrepreneurs to really get and again, accelerated. If you guys have no idea what that is, definitely look up what an accelerator program is. These guys went through 3 months of just intense programs of really building their businesses. And this is a great way to see exactly what they've been working on over the past 3 months. So again, that is the Friday the 26th from 4 to 7:30, and that is at the Emerald Building. One of the best... Oh.
Register for the demo day at abqid.com.
Perfect. Thank you. And then one other event that I definitely want to mention to everybody is that the 12th annual Marcom Mixer. So this is a marketing mixer. It's one of the biggest events of the year that to bring in a whole bunch of different vendors. We're actually going to, he's opening, Stacy Sacco is actually the one that puts this on every year with the Albuquerque Journal. And so if you guys want to go ahead and go to the Albuquerque Journal and sign up for that, that is happening in October the 12th. It's Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30. And they're actually, we started out here and it's gotten so big that they're actually moving over to the rail yards now. So that's where it's going to be. It's going to be huge, guys. There's always in between 300 to 500 people. I could only imagine how big it's going to be this year. Beyond that, I am going to go ahead and pass it off to Lisa here. Lisa runs Fatpipe, in case you guys didn't know where you currently are. Fatpipe is a co-working space, and she's going to talk to you a little bit more about that.
Thank you. Thanks for coming out this morning, everyone. We really appreciate the fact that 1 Million Cups is held here. We love it. So for those of you who don't know, Fatpipe ABQ is a collaborative workspace for all types of entrepreneurs, solo workers, consultants. We have, why are you smiling? You're so cute. Brian is one of our tenants. We have lots of software developers. We have a marketing firm. We have engineers. We have educators. We have a faith-based nonprofit. So the community is fantastic. We can help you grow your business. And it's not just me and Stu and Misty who help you make connections. But what tends to happen here is that the tenants all tend to help each other, and it's great. So we have monthly workshops. If you're not familiar with our workshop series, get on our website, fatpipeabq.com, and go to our event calendar, and you can sign up for any of our workshops, and they're almost always generally free. We also hold the Girl Develop It classes here, and those are held in the back, and those are software development classes for women and men over the age of 18. So if you want to learn how to code, it's a great way to get started. I've actually learned HTML and PHP, and I can manage my WordPress site better now because of the skills that I've learned. So it's a great resource. But today I'm here to talk to you about two things that we could actually use some help with. And you've heard Stu talk about his new initiative called It's Never Too Late to Innovate. And his intention is to get active seniors and retirees into our startup community. These people have the time, the talent, the treasure to share. Am I right? People like Peter, he's actually quoted on my flyer, 72-year-old entrepreneur right here in our community who is also a mentor. And so we want more people like Peter and Stuart to get involved with our community. We're looking for people who want to start a business, maybe work in a startup, or even mentor. So our first workshop is going to be held August 30th, and it's going to be held at the First National Rio Grande Bank branch, but guess what? It's sold out, already sold out. So, and their facility is smaller, so I've convinced my sponsor to let us move them here. We will limit registration to 40 people because they're feeding everyone. So you do have to register to attend, or get your parents and your grandparents to register to attend. We'll talk about all of the resources that are available in the community, including the Epicenter and SCORE and STEPS and 1 Million Cups, because we really want to get them involved. All of the accelerators, we'll talk about all of them. It's not just about Fatpipe, but we want to get more people involved in our community. So that's one thing that we could use help with, getting people to the September 27th event. It's now on the website as well, and I just fixed the flyers. They're up front with the new date. The second thing that Stuart and I would like to do is take Fatpipe statewide. We would like to have collaborative workspaces throughout New Mexico so that members of the Albuquerque site, maybe doing business in Santa Fe or Las Cruces, could have a place to work. So if you're a member of one, you're a member of all for no additional charge. As you know, Stuart's passion is that entrepreneurial activity be private sector led. So you may not know this, but Fatpipe and the Bioscience Center are both privately funded. We currently do not take city, state, or federal funding. That doesn't mean that we won't ever, because this is a very costly endeavor. But right now, we are still privately funded. So we're looking for private sector partners in other communities who might either have a space that they could donate or offer us an affordable space to rent. And then what we'll do to have those centers run is we'll look for a local entrepreneur in that community who knows what it's like to work in that community. Maybe my personality doesn't fit in Taos, or Santa Fe. Maybe they do things differently there, and I wouldn't want to go in and push my initiative on them. So we'll look for a local entrepreneur who needs space to work, who will run their business out of Fatpipe, and kind of be the facilities manager for that site and help us with all of our initiatives. So we'll do the same sorts of program in those other cities that we do here. And we're having a big party here in September. We're looking for VIPs and people really interested in entrepreneurial activity in those communities. So if you know of anybody that needs to be invited to those parties, please send me names and email addresses. Maybe city council people, maybe government people, but I'm going to be honest, we really want to stay private sector led. So if you know of individuals, maybe entrepreneurs in those communities who need a place to work, who can help us manage those sites, then we'd love contact information so that we can invite them to our party. Stu, do you have anything else to say about that?
I think I just point out that we're not limiting ourselves to any city or size city in the state. We're already talking to Las Cruces, we're talking to Grants, we're talking to Taos, but we need connections in Hobbs and Artesia and Silver City and on and on and on. So if you know anybody who might have interest in supporting this in any city in the state, please send us some contact
Great. So because I got so much mic time today, which I really appreciate, anybody who needs a place to work today, you're welcome to stay and squat for the rest of the day for free, okay? Thanks for listening. Christmas.
Sorry. All right, thank you very much. We will see you next week at 9 o'clock.